Hi, it's Nora. Welcome to episode 14 of the You Have Got to Be Knitting Me knitting podcast. I have my George Harrison sweatshirt on, and I have my pink scrunchie that I made a little while ago. And I'm ready to talk about knitting, so I hope you're ready to listen. And I hope you're working on a fun project while you're watching. And let's get started. I'm going to start with finished objects. I have 3 to talk about, but only 2 to show because one was a gift that I've already given. So I'll just put pictures of that one. But I'll first talk about my shining sweater. This was my Halloween project, and I did upload a whole vlog about this project. It's the video before this, and I can link it here as well. I really recommend watching. It's a little bit shorter than my usual videos, and also I think it's pretty good. So I recommend that if you're interested in this project, but I'll just give it a quick rundown. It is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted. The yarn was gifted to me from Knit Picks. This blue color is called Ciel. This this yellow color is popcorn butter, buttered popcorn. Then black and white, I'm assuming, or I think maybe the black is called coal. But yeah, this is the sweater. I made the chart myself. It's based off of the movie The Shining, obviously. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out. I ended up being really sick on Halloween, so I didn't wear it at all, but that's okay. I will have many Halloweens to come to wear it. Do I have anything? I'll show you the inside. I don't think I showed that in the vlog at all, but I think people are interested. I'm reminding myself that I didn't trim the ends. I've gotten to the habit, which I think is a good habit, of weaving in my ends but not cutting them down all the way and then cutting them down after. And I haven't done it for this project. It doesn't really matter, honestly. They're really short, but I have some ends sticking out. They're all woven in though. Yeah, this is my intarsia on the inside. I think the letters especially are really neat. I'm happy with that. I don't know if I have anything else to say about this. Did I write anything down? No. Yeah, so this is my shining sweater. Actually, I thought it was gonna be like just something I wore for Halloween or just like one of those projects I knit because I wanted to knit it, but I actually think I might wear this in non-Halloween settings, so maybe I'll get some conversation starters. I would like people to approach me and talk to me about the shining. I would not like people to approach me and talk to me about space because I don't really know anything about space. Nor do I really have an opinion about if the moon landing was staged. So hopefully this only invites shining conversations, but this is my shining sweater. I'm really happy with it. And if you want to know more about it, you should watch my vlog. Okay, so I am about to scream, but I feel like I can't be as angry as I want to be because I live very close to a Coast Guard base, and I need to mention that every episode because I'm constantly being interrupted. But there is like truly a helicopter very low circling just my house, and I'm not really sure why, but I did realize that is Veterans Day, and I'm wondering if this is some probably part of like a ceremony. So that's why I feel like I can't be as angry as I want to be, but I'm just like also there. I'm not hosting a Veterans Day ceremony at my home, so I don't really understand why it's circling just my house. So I'm sorry. I really hope we don't get interrupted, but I have started talking about these socks truly 9 times. So I'm just feeling a little annoyed. Those tip taps are my dog, Wallace. Can't be mad at him. I'm more mad at the government usually. These are the Stray Delta socks by Yucca. I have knit a few of her patterns. She has really good cable sock patterns. This one has a really pretty cable detail down the back of the leg and around the side of the heel. And there's 2 options for cables, but this is the one I chose. And also on the front, there is a paneled twisted rib that I didn't do. I just did reverse stockinette all the way around, and I think it looks really nice. And here's the other one. The yarn is, I didn't write it down, but I'll have it, the exact name in the description, but I got it at Fiber Space. I filmed this over and over again. You'd think I'd be able to remember what I said 2 minutes ago. Fiber Space in Alexandria, in Virginia. And the yarn is like the periwinkle of sheep. And the colorway is Hyacinth, which when I talked about this when I bought it, I was like, oh, like keeping of appearances, Hyacinth. And I just found out that she died. Like she just died, probably in between me buying this yarn and knitting the socks. And then I found out that Prunella Scales from Fawlty Towers, which is my favorite television show of all time. She plays Sybil Fawlty on Fawlty Towers. She just died too. And I'm like, what is going on? All our British female character actors are dropping like flies just this month. So yeah, I'm really sad about that. Let's honor them with these beautiful socks. I guess I'll think about both of them now. I didn't really watch Keeping Up Appearances, but I feel like Hyacinth is just kind of an iconic person. But yeah, especially if you've never seen Fawlty Towers, I really recommend it. It's a John Cleese show that like is filmed in between Monty Python seasons, and it's really funny. It's kind of dated, I'll just give you that warning. It's like from 1971, I think. There's 2 seasons, but it is my favorite television show of all time. So yeah, I was sad to hear that Hyacinth and Sybil both passed away this month. Anyway, yeah, this yarn is called Hyacinth. And what I was going to say about this, I knit these mostly on 9-inch circulars, which I wasn't originally planning, but I was really struggling with ladders around the cable. I don't know if you can see this, but like how it's like a little bit wider there. And then, like if I was switching from purling to knitting on the foot, it's like really clean edge. And then when I was going back, there's like a lot of ladders, even though I was on 9-inch circular needles. And then when I noticed it, I was trying to pull tighter so that gap was closed, and it was making it worse. So then on the second sock, I was just like, I'm gonna knit normally and just not like think about it. And like blocking did help a little bit, just kind of disperse the tension throughout the sock. But yeah, I did kind of struggle with laddering, and also the heel a little bit as well, which I was kind of thinking as I was knitting these, because the increases are yarn overs that you knit into twisted, which obviously like that's why you excuse me, like yarn overs, knitting into yarn overs create holes, and obviously twisting will make it smaller. But I was just like, I don't really want like holes on the heel of my sock, and there is like, can you see that? Like hole, especially if I have my heel in here, I feel like it's gonna be like busting out. And it's not as bad on the second sock, even though again I wasn't really trying to change anything. I guess I just was getting more used to it. Yeah, like this side is almost perfect. But I just kind of wish, I don't know if maybe it would have made the heel too tight if I did like make one lefts and make one rights instead of adding that extra yarn with the yarn over. Maybe that was like to create more room. But as I was knitting, I was kind of like, yarn over is on the heel. I don't know about that. But I haven't put these on since blocking them, so I don't know what they look like on. But that's just my little like, maybe I would have done. I really like the heel, how it looks, and I like how it's this garter triangle and how the cables part. But I just like don't know. I'm scared I'm gonna bust through them. So that's just my, I don't know, a little worry about these. But I'm really excited to wear them with my loafers. I think it's gonna look really nice. I don't have many socks that are like reverse stockinette like this, so I love that look. And I love how clean it is, especially when it's not the ladder side. That like garter to stockinette is like such a clean line. And I think it also highlights the like variegatedness of the yarn well. There's a little hole here. This is like the one yarn over that I didn't twist because I think I dropped a stitch, so I guess it would have been better. It's at least better than just normal yarn overs. That's a big hole, but that's okay. Yeah, so the Stray Delta socks by Yucca, I really recommend her pattern. I know I've made the Sheena socks and I think they're called like Kawaku socks. I've knit those ones twice. I really like. So if you're looking for cable socks, I really recommend Yucca patterns. Here they are. And then the third object, thankfully we have not had any helicopters in the last like 5 minutes. My friend Haley is having a baby in January, and I went to her baby shower last weekend, and I knit her a little toy from this book, which I always say Mochi and Friends, which is like not how you, I think this is like Mouche, but I would always just like read it in my head as Mochi, and that's like not what that says. So I think this, like, the author is like I don't know, she's French, but I think this is just Mouche, maybe not Mochi, but the author is Cinthia Vallet, and I love this book. Highly recommend, especially if you have people with babies in your life. Really good toys, and they're like really fun to knit and so cute. I've knit, I think, 6 of them, but I knit my friend Haley. I'll put a picture. Haley was my hall director in college when I was an RA, and now she's gonna be a mom. So she has a black cat named Tootsie, and so I knit her this. I don't think you would be able to steal the pattern. It's very small font, but maybe. This cat is called Giorgio, and this is the pattern that I use to knit Tootsie doll for Haley. And I also knit the pants that comes with the pattern, but then I did just a sweater with a little T on it and entarged the T for Tootsie. I made a little meme to go along with the present. All good baby shower presents come with memes. And she was really happy. I was happy to give it to her. But I'll put a picture of Tootsie here, and then I'll also put a picture of me and my friends at the baby shower. I wore my cardigan by Deegan to the baby shower, and so it was like, you know, you love to get knitting compliments, so like it'd be like, Nora made this cap for me, and then it'd be like, Nora also made her a sweater, and I'd be like, yep, that's me, Nora, knitting Nora as always. I also gave her some little onesies, and they asked for books, like instead of cards, to bring books, which I think is so cute, and I brought Lily's purple plastic purse, which I just bought because I was like, oh, I loved like that book and I loved Chrysanthemum, and then I bought it and I brought it home and read it, and I was like, I'm Lily's purple plastic purse. This book is so me. Like, she dresses crazy, she has a big sense of justice. I really liked revisiting that as an adult. I was like, I think maybe Lily shaped me as the person I was, and I didn't, as I was purchasing it, I wasn't like trying to buy this inspiring book. I just like remembered it a little bit, and then I was reading it and I was like, this is just like you, Nora, just like you. Anyway, baby shower was fun. It was at a brewery in New Hampshire. I used to live in Dover, New Hampshire for a while after I went to college, which I also went to college in New Hampshire, University of New Hampshire. Go Wildcats. That was kind of embarrassing to say, to be honest. Yeah, I used to live in Dover, so it was also nice to be in the town that I used to live in. And I'm excited for Haley to have her baby because I love babies, and I hope that she likes her little toy that I made for her. So yeah, I really recommend this book. Basically, that's why I brought it out. Oh, also, because I can't show you Tootsie, I made this one for myself. This is in the book. He's so cute, an orangutan. Yeah, he's so cute. And I brushed out his hair so he's like fuzzy. Yeah, I knit this same from the pattern. This is the only one I've kept for myself, but I also made I don't know why I just put his head in my mouth, helicopter. I've also made the donkey. I think I have an episode highlighting the donkey. What is going on? I like live in the woods. I don't know why this is happening. Well, it's Veterans Day. I'm assuming that this has something to do with Veterans Day. I made the donkey and the pig and the raccoon and the duck is so cute. If Haley didn't have a black cat, I would have made the duck. I think that's the perfect baby present, especially because she's having a girl. I think like a light pink duck with an orange bill would have been so cute. That's for the next baby, whoever lucky baby that will be. But yeah, I made the duck for my friend Ben. She's really cute, or whatever gender the duck wants to be. I don't know, whatever gender the duck Ben wants it to be. Anyway, yeah, so those are my finished objects plus the monkey orangutan. Yeah, let's get on to whips. My work in progress is this pair of socks. I have one done and one is ready for the heel. I got this yarn. It's La Bien-Aimee, Inko in the tough sock base, which I'm kind of interested in because it's BFL, and I think that's why it's like tough sock. And I'm interested to wear this because the yarn feels quite thin, and so I'm wondering like how like tough it is. If we remember from my yarn haul, this was the most expensive yarn I've ever bought, so I hope it lives up to its name of being tough, but it's just so beautiful. And I got this at Looped in DC, and I forgot to mention during my yarn haul what I saw at Looped. This woman, when I walked into the store, like you open the door to the cash register, and this woman was buying like a lot of yarn, and she was with a man who I'm assuming is her husband, and he was wearing a suit, and like she was just checking out, and then he just like tapped his phone and like bought her all the yarn. And I'm just like, that is why you get a husband in a suit, to buy you a lot of yarn at the yarn store. So that was just kind of like a sexy thing I viewed at Looped, was just a woman having her yarn paid for by a man. Isn't that the dream? Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up. I even put in my notes from like 2 episodes ago being like, don't forget to say what you saw at Looped. Anyway, yeah, this is sock 1, and then sock 2 is ready for the heel. My go-to sock formula is 56 stitches. There's always hair. 56 stitches, 2x2 rib for 2 inches. The leg is like 7.5 inches, I think. That can vary. Heel flap and gusset. Ooh, heel flap and gusset. I'll show you the contrast yarn in a second. And I knit my foot for 8.5 inches. I have size 10 feet. And that was something that was really hard for me when I started sock knitting, was to know how long I was supposed to knit. And I feel like I had a lot of trial and error of socks that did not fit me because I didn't know how long my socks were supposed to be, especially because I like pretty tight socks. That's why I also do 56 stitches, because I want them to be tight against my skin. But if you're struggling with that and you happen to have size 10 feet, I would recommend knitting from heel to when you start the toe, 8.5 inches. If you have other foot sizes, I can't help you. I actually think there's charts out there that I use if I'm knitting a gift, but I usually am knitting for myself these days, I guess. So these are the socks. And then the contrast color I'm using is the sparkly yarn. I got this at Knitty City in New York. It's knitting over Broadway, and the colorway is Tiger Beat, which I'm kind of disappointed because I feel like it should be a Broadway name, and Tiger Beat is just like the teen magazine, unless there's a Broadway play called Tiger Beat that I'm not aware of, but I don't think so. So I just wish it was called like, I only can think of Cabaret right now, and I don't think this is really a Cabaret color. Sally Bowles. It should have a Broadway name, not Tiger Beat, but I've knit this in a million projects. You've probably seen it before because I knit like one pair of socks, and then I've just been adding it as scraps and other things. But I'm just using it as the heel and toe of these socks. And yeah, I actually just knit this whole leg today, so hopefully it'll finish soon. Sometimes I leave my vanilla socks to just hang around a little bit because I like to knit them in the movie theater. But I also like to tell myself that I'm going to the movies and then never go. So I'm like, just finish the socks. Nora, when are you going to the movies? I only really like to go to the movies if I can knit, because I just like knitting all the time. And I feel like I like focus better if I'm knitting. I don't know if I've broken my brain, but some people are addicted to looking at their cell phones. So at least I'm addicted to something semi-productive. Yeah, those are my socks. And then finally, this is kind of exciting. This gets everyone. I feel like when I post on TikTok, my TikToks that get the most views are always scrap yarn knitting. I feel like it's something that people are always very interested in. So I always save my scrap yarn like until I get quite a bit. Like I think I have like 10. Actually, I know I have 12 because I know I can add 6 squares to this. so I just save them up, and I have a few, like 4 or 5 scrap yarn blankets going at once, and then I add them all at once. So when I add this yarn, I'm just going to move on to my mini granny square, then move on to my linen stitch blanket, and that's just kind of how I do my scrap yarn blankets. I always look forward to like the few weeks that I'm working on my blankets. So what I'm working on is my Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose. I really recommend all of her patterns. She has really good like quilt motif pillows and blankets, and I feel like this is probably her most popular pattern. I have a whole video about scrap yarn knitting, but it is one of my first videos I ever posted, so I'm just going to give you the little advice. If you're watching that video, you're just going to turn the volume all the way up because they're a little quiet. Okay? I did not know. I'm working on it. Anyway, so yeah, I just added this square. This is the yarn that I used for Tootsie, and then this is the Hyacinth. I did this one last night, and I can add 2 more here, and then I've been going like I started in this corner, and I've just been adding like above and then to the side, above and to the side. So I'll add these 2 and then start going up the side. And I think it looks so good. What do you guys think? Some people do it like one half is always the same color, and then they'll do their scrap yarn. But I'm just doing every different one is a scrap yarn. And oh, I will say I'm going to tease something. You guys are the first to hear about this. I'm really close to, well, not really. I'm really close to hitting 900 followers on Instagram. When I go to 1,000 followers, which could be in a very long time, I guess, Instagram I'm not like great at. I want to be better, but I like prefer, I feel like if I make TikToks or YouTube videos, I can like show my personality. But I feel like on Instagram, I just like feel a little awkward just like taking pictures of myself. Anyway, on Instagram, when I hit 1,000 followers, I'm going to do a mini skein scrap yarn giveaway, and I have like gold in my stash, so that's like a really good giveaway. So follow me on Instagram if you don't, especially if you want. I always get comments on my scrap yarn TikToks being like, how do you have so much scrap yarn? Like, I never feel like I'm gonna finish a blanket because I'm never gonna have enough. If you enter my giveaway and win, maybe you could like start your scrap yarn blanket with a little base of my stash. So if you're interested in that at all, I recommend following me on Instagram for that giveaway. I've never done a giveaway before, but I really want to, and that's something that I would really like to win because, again, I have like gold in my stash. Look at this. Yeah, such pretty yarn. And I love to collect, especially sock yarn as souvenirs. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I don't know, does anyone who's watching have scrap yarn blankets on the needles? What are you making? I just finished my Cozy Memories blanket this year. That was a big undertaking. I've been knitting that for over almost a decade. I've been knitting it since high school. So this one I just started last summer. So yeah, this by Laura Penrose. I think that's all I have to say. This is just kind of a sneak peek of the yarn that I'm adding. Oh, so pretty. It's kind of all like very similar color. Besides this one, it's like all pretty much like pinks and greens. Kind of funny the way that works out. But yeah, I'm excited to add these and then work on my next blankets. And then I have this beautiful bowl I got at Savers that has gooses on it. And I just use it for knitting. I love it. Yeah, so that's all the knitting. I have some TV and actually have a lot of books to talk about. So if you want to stay around for that, that's all the knitting though. I just ran downstairs because these 2 books I put downstairs because I've finished them and I wanted to show you because usually I'm a library girl. And I happen to have bought both of these copies. But I'll just go in order. The first book I read since the last episode was The Will of the Many by James Islington. It's book 1 in a trilogy, and the second book of the trilogy just came out today. And and I'm number 3 on the library hold list, so I hope I get it soon. Really, really good. If you've been watching a lot of my episodes, I'm like trying to get into fantasy, and I really, really liked this series a lot. So I really liked the first book, so I'm excited for the second one. I mean, yeah, really good. I don't really know how to explain it, but if you like fantasy, I would recommend it. Really good. The next book I read, I think that was the next book, is called Uncanny Valley Girls by Zephyr Lisowski. And this book I've been waiting for, for so long, because this author, she has a story in this book of essays called It Came from the Closet, and it's queer essays about horror movies. And Zephyr's story in it is about The Ring and Pet Sematary, and it is so good. She's a trans woman, and she also experiences chronic pain and chronic illnesses, and that is something that I experience as well. So it's really nice to hear other people talk about their experiences. I find a lot of value in that, and the first story in this book is the essay that she has in that book, It Came from the Closet, which is also very good, especially if you like horror movies. I really recommend that book. But I've been excited for this one for so long, because I read that book like 2 years ago, and then I finished her essay in the book, and then I went to follow her on Instagram, and like 2 hours before, she had posted that she just signed the like book deal for this book. And I'm like, that is, what a lucky duck am I to just have found this author that I like, and then 2 hours before I followed her on Instagram, she posted about her book deal. So I've been excited for this book since the second I knew about it. Helicopter. Yeah, so I really liked this. It's like written in 3 parts and just documents a lot of her story, and also is like a lot of comments on, it's very similar to the It Came from a Closet. Like there is a lot of commenting on horror movies. Like her favorite movie is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and there's just like a whole essay about her thoughts on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I like horror movies, queer authors, I really recommend this book and It Came from the Closet. And then I also read, look how much I've been reading, I'm really proud of myself, The Hunger We Pass Down by Jen Sufong Lee. This book is not what I expected. I thought this was just like a normal thriller. I just like very briefly read the description on Storygraph before I bought it. But it's a lot more like generational trauma, mothers and daughters, and like Asian history, like the great-great-grandmothers fleeing from Hong Kong during World War II. And yeah, this book was really good. Not what I expected, but I really liked it, and I was flying through it. So I recommend this book a lot, even if like it probably wasn't the book, it wasn't the story I was expecting, and I probably enjoyed it more than I would have enjoyed the story that I was expecting. So yeah, I bought both of these books on bookshop.org. I'm usually a library girl, but and then I started this series, The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, which I just finished The Priory of the Orange Tree, or I think it's called like the Roots of Chaos series, and it's the same author. And this book is like, I think 7 books in total, but only 5 of the 7 are out right now, and there's a few novellas in between. So there's one novella, this is the first book in the series, but there's one novella from before that's like 70 pages that I bought and just finished last night, and I'm really excited about it. I think I like got my goal of being a fantasy girl. I think I found my people, and Samantha Shannon is one of them. It's about clairvoyance in the near future of London. Yeah, and so The Pale Dreamer was good. I had to read it on my iPad. I don't like reading on my iPad that much, but I don't think the book was really like public. I think it's only available digitally. So, and then I bought The Bone Season at the Brewster Bookstore. They only had this one, so I guess I'm gonna need to call if I want to get the next books in the series. But that's all the books I have to talk about. Let me know what you're reading if you have any recommendations, especially based on these books. And yeah, just for TV, I've been watching Veep and I finished it. So funny. So funny. Yeah, really good. And I'm watching the Murdoch Murders on Hulu with Patricia Arquette. I'm not familiar with this story at all. Like I wasn't following it when it was like when the trials were happening. So I'm like, the episodes are coming out week by week, and I'm like, oh my god, like I didn't expect that. And my friend who was following has listened to the podcast and follows the news about it was like, yeah. So I'm like watching it like fiction. Because I'm not familiar with the story at all, but basically like I'm just watching it for Patricia Arquette. She always slays, especially in true crime. If you haven't watched The Act with Patricia Arquette and Joey King, it is both of their performances of a lifetime. It's on Hulu. It's about Gypsy Rose and Dee Dee Blanchard. It's like they're both just really incredible in it. So I'm watching the Murdochs basically chasing the thrill of what I was feeling when I watched The Act. And then I've been watching, I started Pluribus, a new Vince Gilligan show on Apple TV. The first 2 episodes came out on Friday, and I really like it. And I'm like a huge Breaking Bad fan, and I watched the first episode of Better Call Saul like 4 times and then never continue watching. I need to watch it because I love Breaking Bad, and I think it's like strange that I haven't watched Better Call Saul. I love X-Files too, other Vince Gilligan projects. So yeah, let me know if you're watching that as well. That's another show that's coming out weekly, so we have to wait, but I liked it so far. Yeah, so that's what I've been watching. Yeah, I think this is the end of the episode. I'm sorry we got so many helicopter interruptions. I don't think it has affected you as much as it has affected me. I hope everyone's doing okay. The world's scary out there, but at least we have our knitting. Am I right? Yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.